Holy crap, when I talk about these syphilitic bastards hyperscaling the AI fraud, man, it's not whether or not I'm snarky. It truly is whether I'm snarky enough. Coming from The Guardian, irresponsible. Backlash as Utah approves Datacenter twice the size of Manhattan. Facility would require more power than the entire state uses and suck up vast amounts of water in drought-stricken area. Holy hell. You all think I'm just mean and snarky, which, to be clear, is the case. But I just want to defend myself by saying I'm really not mean or snarky enough when it comes to this whole AI fraud. And the thing to think about with this one set of data centers being built in Utah that is twice the size of Manhattan is that, remember, Meta, Facebook, is building their own set of data centers that are only the size of Manhattan. I think about this. I was listening to Elon Musk on the Dwarkish podcast a while ago, and he was talking about his terafab, and the Dwarkish guy was laughing. He's like, oh, I guess Giga is last year. Everything now is Tera. And they all had a laugh. Yes, everything now has to be Tera in size. Giga is so 2020. And apparently, so is the case with building data centers. A single Manhattan-sized data center is oh so 2025. If you are going to be with the big boys in 2026, you've got to have a data center multiple times the size of Manhattan, apparently. Because, that all makes sense. These trillion-dollar companies that don't have viable business plans, these trillion-dollar companies that don't have a realistic way to profitability, these technologies that we were told were going to solve science and cure disease, and instead we're getting, banner ads and we're getting erotica. It makes complete sense that we need to make all these data centers multiple size, the size of Manhattan, to make all this come to reality. So anyways, this is just a hell of a thing. The other thing that I find interesting about this, when I talk about the AI fraud, and I talk about the disaster of the AI fraud, is it just keeps getting worse. Like one of the things I didn't really think about is the heat island effect of these data centers. I mean, look, I knew it existed. That's the concept. Oh, but again, everything, like there's the concept and then when it scales. So heat island effect is what we talked about in cities, when we talk about climate change. Basically, cities are generally a few degrees warmer than the surrounding countryside. The reason is because there's asphalt and there's cement and things that collect heat during the day and don't release it very quickly. Plus, there are car engines. Car engines produce heat. Air conditioners produce heat. They make it cold inside by making it hotter outside. Again, you do this at scale, hundreds of thousands or millions of people in one concentrated area, and you get what's called a heat island effect. And so, I've talked about before with these little highly distributed server solutions for architecture. There's this one company that was, I think it was in Scandinavia, and what they were going to do is they were going to put servers literally in people's houses in Scandinavia with the idea that the waste heat coming off of the server itself would help heat the house. The idea is that your server would also be a space heater, a multi-use device per se, right? So anyways, right? Like when you have a built-up area, there's a heat island effect, and when you have computers and servers, they create heat. But did you ever really think about what that does at scale? What happens when you have 2 Manhattans worth of servers and all the sundry equipment producing heat? Apparently, and I guess this really should not come as a shock, it creates a lot of heat in that area. Oh, lordy. A plan to create one of the world's largest data centers, a gargantuan project spanning an area more than twice the size of Manhattan, has provoked a furious public backlash in Utah amid concerns over its vast energy use and impact upon the state's stressed water supplies. The Stratos artificial intelligence data center footprint will cover more than 40,000 acres, 62 square miles, over 3 sites in Box Elder County in northwestern Utah. 40,000 acres, 62 square miles for an AI data center. I am not smart enough to make up this kind of idiocy. The facility will require about 9 gigawatts of power, which is more than the entire state of Utah currently consumes, and suck up a significant amount of water in an area that has been hit by severe drought in recent years. Last week, the project was approved by the county's commissioners despite thousands of objections lodged by Utah residents. Environmentalists have warned that Stratos could imperil the Great Salt Lake ecosystem, including a critical migratory bird habitat, which is already under severe stress. Quote, at a time when the Great Salt Lake is already in crisis, approving a project that will consume water and energy at this scale is irresponsible and dangerous. Let's see here. The proposed project is backed by Kevin O'Leary, the venture capitalist who appears on the TV show Shark Tank. O'Leary has claimed Stratos will deliver thousands of jobs and help the U.S. compete with China in the burgeoning AI industry. Quote, I don't think there's a bigger site in the world than this, O'Leary told Fox News. Quote, it shows the Chinese and the rest of the world we are not messing around. We are going to get this done, move it forward, and provide the compute power to our AI companies that defend our country. And as I've said many times before, I am so exhausted of this fetishization with making China the enemy and pretending like burning cash is somehow going to put us ahead. As I've talked about before, what are the revenue models? What are the profit projections? What are the actual use cases for all of this artificial intelligence? We don't have any of that. Look, we are years into this AI revolution, and look what a fucking nothing burger so much of this is. Literally, and I've talked about this before, we are at a point in time where private equity firms that have invested in these AI companies are now forcing the companies that they own to use artificial intelligence. They're forcing them, right? I think OpenAI, I did a video, I'm not sure it's published yet. They're investing $4 billion into a consulting company just so there are engineers to try to embed AI into the corporate world. Look, I've been doing technology, as I've said, for 30 years now, right? I remember when 56K modems came out. Nobody had to force anybody to use a 56K modem. Nobody had to force anybody to use DSL or Comcast internet or any of this kind of stuff, right? iPhones. Steve Jobs did not pay billions of dollars to get engineers to embed in enterprises to deploy iPhones. Right? It was like, holy crap, this technology is amazing. It makes our life better. The price point is so fucking reasonable. Here, take my cash. And that is what normally happens with technology innovations that actually really matter and push the ball forward. Instead, what we're getting out of this AI revolution is companies worth trillions of dollars creating products. You know, we're informed they do. Look, these products they're more dangerous than nuclear weapons. Why? But anyways, and so now, like I say, Utah, like this whole idea to build a set of it's going to be a set of data centers, a facility, again, twice the size of Manhattan, and we need to do this to prove to China we're serious. So China seems to invest money into artificial intelligence in order to build their stack and in order to build their industries, in order to have like the vertical integrations and all of that kind of stuff. And they seem to be deploying it in ways that actually make sense. All right, again, we talked about this with DeepSeek a couple weeks ago. DeepSeek got $300 million of funding at a $10 billion valuation. Cursor makes an AI IDE, has a $60 billion valuation, and DeepSeek only has 10. Maybe in this whole AI rat race thing, it appears that China is actually allocating financial resources that make sense, are appropriate for the technology solutions being created, and we are just burning cash and crapping on our country to prove how important we are. Do remember, under the Trump administration, we're not going to get universal health care, but we are going to get the battleships we deserve. Because every American really, really, really cares about battleships. Anyways, so yeah, you have Kevin O'Leary coming out and saying, yeah, this is gonna show China how serious we are. In an X post, O'Leary added, quote, we're not gonna drain the Great Salt Lake. That's ridiculous. We are gonna create incremental jobs. You're gonna create incremental jobs? That's not quite the burn you think it is. But I also think out of, this period with the Trump administration and all that, look at how they say things like that's ridiculous. You have to be insane. You have to be stupid. Or you could just come out with the numbers. You could just show us the blueprints, and you could just show the numbers, and you can show the projected consumption of different resources. You could do that, or you could just say, this is ridiculous. Yeah, anyways. The network of industrial scale fans needed to cool the data center's hot pipes will result in so much waste heat that it could raise daytime temperatures in the surrounding Hansel Valley by 2 to 5 degrees. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, look, I knew about the heat island effect. I understand that servers create heat. But think about this data center increasing the heat by up to 5 degrees during the day and nighttime temperatures by 8 to 12 degrees Fahrenheit. So think about if you're in this valley, right? Think about a night that is 78 degrees versus a night that's 90 degrees. And literally, that's what you might be getting in this particular area. And that's the thing to be thinking about how these AI data centers disrupt, normal human life. Because think about it, again, in costs, right? So if the temperature outside is 78 degrees, you can have the windows open and go to sleep and be very comfortable, right? You do not need to worry about the cost of electricity because you don't need to turn your air conditioning on because 78 degrees at night is fine, right? You crank it up to 90 degrees at night. Now all of a sudden, you're probably going to be using the air conditioning that you wouldn't have been using before, and the electricity prices have gone through the roof. And that's where we get into this whole self-reinforcing cycle of idiocy with this whole AI fraud. And this is the kind of thing that I think we're just not talking enough about, where that these AI data centers just require so much out of society. Things like you don't even think about a data center increasing the local temperature by over 10 degrees. And that's only one thing that's going on. That's just a hell of a thing. According to an analysis by Rob Davies, a physics professor at Utah State University, quote, the thermal load from the proposed Stratos project is extreme, Davies said. Quote, of course it has effects. One of those effects is this facility imposes substantial drying on a watershed and ecosystem already in active collapse. I also do think this is interesting when they talk about the data centers. What we hear from the people like Kevin O'Leary, the people that are better than you. They are smarter than you. They are richer than you. They are more moral and ethical than you. How dare you question somebody who has been on Shark Tank? You disgusting, vile, ridiculous human being. But one of the things that comes up with these data centers, right, is that they don't use all of that water. Which actually might be, to be clear, actually be a valid argument, right? You come up with better heat exchange systems. At the end of the day, they might not use nearly as much water as projected. To be clear, they also might use 10 times as much water as projected. But with engineering, with water reclamation systems and other things, it is theoretical you could either have a closed loop cooling system as far as the water is concerned, or a relatively closed loop system, right? That is a real possibility. Whether or not they do it, that's a whole different argument. But an interesting thing to think about here, though, again, when we think about areas that are drought prone or in drought now, is again, if you raise temperatures in that area 2 to 5 degrees during the during the day and up to 12 degrees at night, think about how much more evaporation there is going to be in that area. Evaporation out of the vegetation, evaporation out of the soil, just general evaporation out of the land. And think about how much water that on its own could pull out of that area, especially if it's already, in an area that's going through drought and things, which is, a hell of a thing. O'Leary said the extra electricity demand won't raise residents' energy bills as new gas-fired generation will power the facility. Quote, "We are building power from scratch from the pipeline," he said. "We are going to burn it with turbines clean." And here's the other weird thing in the modern world. Look, I'm not anti-natural gas, but natural gas isn't clean. It is better than coal. But the thing to think about with Utah is they are going to double the electricity production for the entire state just so they can power this one data center. How much more pollution is that going to put into Utah? Like, however much pollution comes out of their current power infrastructure, you're now going to double that just so you can have this AI data center. O'Leary has claimed in social media posts that most of the protesters don't live locally and have been paid to object to the project. Quote, "There are professional protesters that are paid by somebody I don't know who," O'Leary said in a video posted to X. "They're being bussed in. Yes, they are ridiculous and they're not even real." Let's see here. Faced with a similar public backlash in Utah, Spencer Cox, the state's governor, on Friday said he will require that the Stratos project doesn't harm the Great Salt Lake or raise power bills. The developers will build the data center in phases, he said, initially spanning 2,000 acres before scaling up further, subject to future reviews. So I think that's the other big thing to be thinking about this. At the end of the day, this also might be slightly a nothing burger. Like, if this happens, it's pretty bad. But you also got to understand, part of the AI fraud is you don't actually know what will or will not happen with any of this crap show. So if the initial build out is 2,000 acres, that is obviously substantially less. That is, 5% or whatever of the 40,000 acre build out. So one of the things to be thinking about this too is they might just build out the 2,000 acres and then stop. Or let's also be honest, they might not even build out the 2,000 acres before they stop. And so this is just one of those, like, if this happens, this is pretty bad, but it also might not happen. I don't know what's going to happen with all this kind of thing. I do think it's interesting, though, to be looking at as I say, like the ramifications of these data centers, things that you might not necessarily expect. We've heard this about noise, right? So a lot of these data centers, they put them into rural areas. They put out a lot of noise. And in rural areas, there's not a lot of other noise to cover up that noise. So now they have the constant humming of hundreds of thousands of servers basically sitting in these rural facilities, right? That's a real thing that people have complained about. You start talking about this with these large data centers and putting out heat, especially if you're anywhere near one of these data centers. That's something that, again, I wouldn't have even considered before. On top of the things like electricity bills and all the rest of this stuff. And that's where, as I've said with this whole AI, it's just, right? The worst in our society are hell-bent on mining the foundations of our civilization just so they can get a couple of more ounces of blood money, right? What have you seen out of AI to this point in time to really make a valid argument for what is going on here? I just haven't seen it. I use AI every day. And it's not, it's like, I'm a technology professional. I don't know. Put your thoughts down below. Did you ever think about the heat island effect of these data centers? Holy crap. If you like these episodes, do remember they're on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. The links are down in the doobly-doo. Also, if you want to follow me on LinkedIn, there's a link down there too. With that, see y'all later.